Hi English 093 students, this is Dr. Swanebrg and I am going to do a quick screencast for you over the syllabus in case you missed it on the first day of class or in case you just want to review. This screencast is not intended to replace reading the syllabus carefully. Every student should read the syllabus in its entirety, word for word, all the way through. It's a contract, and by staying in this class, you are agreeing to the contract, so it's really important to make sure you know what's in it. As I said, I did go over the syllabus with the class on the first day, and it really took us the whole class to go through it. And this screencast is just going to be a few minutes hitting the highlights for those of you who may have missed the first day or who need to review. Here on the first page, you see that this is an English 093 class, and it has my contact information on the first page. I'm Dr. Swanebrg. My office is in the back of classroom A254 on the Bessemer campus. My office phone is 3452. And my email is aswanebrg@lawsonstate.edu. There is a link in Blackboard called Email My Instructor, which will automatically send an email to this address. My office hours on Tuesdays and Thursdays are in the mornings, but you can stop by anytime on a Tuesday or Thursday when I'm not teaching between 8 and 4 and see if you can get some help. On Mondays and Wednesdays this semester, I am on the Birmingham campus. You can make an appointment to see me in my Bessemer office on Friday, but you do need to make an appointment. If you do make an appointment, please be sure to keep the appointment. In this class, you're going to be using the textbook Exploring Writing, Paragraphs, and Essays. And it says the second edition here, but let me change it really quickly to the third edition. It is the third edition that we're working with here. And it's a book with a white cover and a purple set of words or letters. Don't get confused in the bookstore and buy the one that's red. That's for the English 092 class. Again, you're looking for the one that says Paragraphs and Essays. We also are going to be using Connect Writing and Criterion Online Writing Evaluation. The Connect Writing comes bundled with your book. If you buy a book through some other surface, you will need to purchase Connect Writing online. And the Criterion Online Writing Evaluation card should be requested at the register in the bookstore. All students in the class are going to be using Blackboard on a regular basis. That's where all our assignments are going to be turned in. This is a list of outcomes and objectives. You should read that very, very carefully. These are what you're going to be expected to know by the end of the semester. This is a list of things that have to be included in our class that I'm scrolling through quickly. Please read those carefully. Although the class may have more in it, no English 093 class at Lawson State can have less than this. This is a breakdown of where your grade comes from. It's on the bottom of page 3, and I need you to acquaint yourself with it very carefully. You can see that our major assignments are the body paragraph, essays 1, 2, and 3, and that those all together comprise 10, 20, and 30, so that's 50% of your grade right there. If you miss any one of these, that lowers your grade by a letter grade. In other words, if you were earning A's, now you're getting B's. If you were earning B's, now you're getting C's. And if you were earning C's, I'll see you again next semester. Test number 1 is similarly worth a letter grade, or 10%. Test number 2 is worth a letter grade and a half, or 15%. Your homework and quiz average is also 10% of your grade, and the exit exam is 150 points, or 15% of your grade. In order to get through this class, you need to have a 70% or higher on 2 things. Your coursework, that's everything except the exit exam here. That's all these things. You have to have a 70% passing average in all those things, and a 70% or higher on the departmental exit exam itself. Students who do not fulfill both requirements must repeat the class. Take a careful look at the attendance policy and the withdrawals policy. The policy is that you should be attending your classes, and if you don't, it outlines on the bottom of page 4 what you should do. If you say I was absent and you don't follow these procedures on the bottom of page 4, I'm going to ask you to take a look at page 4 and follow the procedures. Okay? Students who attend regularly tend to do quite well in the class. Students who do not attend regularly almost never pass. So that's something to keep in mind when you're struggling to get to school. Makeup work. Essays should be submitted on time, and it is true for absent students. I don't care whether you send somebody in with your assignment or if you submit it on Blackboard and then bring your paper copy later. But because our work can be submitted in Blackboard, it should be submitted in Blackboard and on time. You can turn in a late essay up to 1 week late, but late essays that are of passing quality will receive only a minimally passing grade of 70%. If you are sick for more than a week and you have an emergency, a documentation of some sort of emergency, please come to me and discuss this. It is at my discretion that I can waive this, but it really does need to be a discussion about what the situation was, whether it's resolved, and it does need to be documented. If you miss a test, you are required to have documentation to make up that test. Some quizzes and homeworks cannot be made up, but a small percentage of them will be dropped from your final grade calculation at the end of the semester. Lateness really has the same effect on your grade as absence. If you're late very often, you're going to be missing information, and it's going to take a toll on your ability to do the class well. So make sure you are on time. If you do happen to be late, please be quiet, take a seat. If the students are busily working on something, please quietly come see me to find out what you should be doing. Plagiarism. On the bottom of page 5 begins a section on plagiarism and cheating. You need to read this very, very carefully. Plagiarism is when you submit work that is not your own. Someone else's ideas, words, phrasing, representing those ideas, words, or phrasing as your own, either on purpose or by accident, is a serious offense. So that means every word you write in this class should be your word, not the word of a tutor, not the word of your mother, not something you looked up on the internet, not something your mother looked up on the internet, not even a dictionary without proper citation. Every instance of plagiarism will be reported and tracked through the advocate system, and the instructor will follow the schedule for penalties laid out in the Student Code of Conduct. We discussed the Student Code of Conduct at some length on the first day. You should go under Current Students, find the Student Code of Conduct, and read it carefully. Cheating. Students who cheat on tests or on assignments will receive a grade of 0 for that test, quiz, or assignment. Cheating is absolutely not tolerated. Every instance of cheating will be reported and tracked through the advocate system, and the instructor will follow the penalties as outlined on the Student Code of Conduct. This is a list of things that I expect of my students. To be on time to class, to stay for the whole class, to stay awake and look alert, to stay on task, to bring your book and notebook every time, to take notes and ask questions, to be kind, respectful, and patient, to leave the room cleaner than you found it, to be helpful to your instructor, to follow the loss and dress code, and to follow the Student Code of Conduct at all times. In particular, in our 093 classroom, that means that you are not permitted to have food and drink in the classroom. If you have a bottle with a screw cap, you may close the cap on the bottle and put it in your book bag. All other food and drinks will be removed from the room. This is part of the Student Code of Conduct, and I will be following the schedule of penalties outlined in the Student Code of Conduct. So once again, it's important that you understand and know the Student Code of Conduct. It's under Current Students on the Lawson website, and you should go through it carefully. We will follow it in class. This is the statement of discrimination and harassment. Discrimination and harassment is something we absolutely will not tolerate here at Lawson, and certainly not in our class. Discrimination and harassment cannot be based on an individual's race, color, gender, religion, national origin, age, disability, veteran status, or economic status for that matter. Any practice or behavior that constitutes harassment is a violation of the State Board of Education policy and will be reported immediately through the advocate system. As a matter of fact, if you are harassing or discriminating against someone in class, I will immediately dismiss you from the class and then submit a report to the advocate system. Students and faculty are permitted to submit complaints, but there are penalties for submitting false or frivolous reports. Please look under the current students section on the website and look at the procedure for submitting complaints. Our last section we have to discuss is the section about Americans with Disabilities, or the ADA Act of 1990. This means that students with qualified disabilities who meet the essential functions and academics requirements are entitled to have reasonable accommodations, or the tools that they need to do their jobs well. It is this student's responsibility to provide documentation, and you need to provide it each semester. If you had ADA accommodations at another school, in another semester, or if you suspect that you need ADA accommodations, please see our counselor, Ms. Renee Herndon, here on the Bessemer campus, or Ms. Philana Suggs on the Birmingham campus. You need to provide a letter of accommodation to each teacher each semester. It does not roll over from school to school, and it doesn't roll over from semester to semester. So as soon as you provide me with a list of accommodations, I will provide them to you. I cannot provide them to you until I have a letter of accommodation from one of our counselors. Once you have read this syllabus, please print this last page, sign it, and give it to me as an acknowledgement that you have read and understood the syllabus. Thank you.